Right, good morning everyone. Now, I am going to share with you a very easy, very simple little gift box or card, envelope, whatever you want to call it. Really, really simple to make, but you can give a gift card in it or anything like that. So I'm calling this my gift card envelope. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It is really simple. But the great, I mean, I've done it in white because the silver stands out. But you can do yours in any colour. Make them red with gold trim, red with green trim, whatever you want to do. So, first of all, we're going to make the central bit. Now, I have thought about this, and you can use anything for the centre. You can start with a square, a rectangle, whatever you want, but I'm going to start mine with a button. That was just a piece of bling that was sat on a button and I took it off. So I've got this. It's just, well, it's not a circle really, it's a hexagon. So what I'm going to do just to, first of all, put that on there. Like that. It's onto the tool. Yesterday what I did, I also made this butterfly with the tool, and I just need to snip them bits off, and then once that's done it's fine. I made it into a brooch, that's it. And they're beautiful, aren't they? And shiny. Love them. But anyway, like I say, we're going to use this. Now what I'm going to do is use a couple of the larger ones. Where have I put the larger ones? There we are. Take a couple of these. You only need a couple. I'm going to do the similar sort of thing. I'm going to go from the top there, and we're going to make sure that it's level if we can. So I'm just going to turn the mat around so I can play around with that before it dries. And I pull the fabric, and then when I release it, it pushes it back up. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to do this side as well. And I can see straight away that's not quite right. So I'm going to line it up like that. That's more or less the same. I'm going to take 4 of these little ones and start to build this out. Like that. Spin that around. You can touch them together if you want. I just want them. It's just a pattern. That's all it is. So all I want to do is to make a pattern to go on my envelope. Like that. Spin that around. And again, we push that in. Making sure there's about the same. Like that. And do the same again with this side. Now, getting these in and playing around with them, you can design lots of different things for yourself. Let me just see if I can get that level. Yeah, that's about right. Like that. So you just have to let that dry, and while that's drying, we're now going to, I mean, I could go on if I wanted to. You can put like things here. I mean, I've got these tiny little flowers, and they are beautiful. I might not put one on, but we'll see. Do we want one on there? Do I want a bigger one? I could even have that one. That's more like it. Dunno. Do I? And then I could put a tiny diamante in the middle, couldn't I? Let me see. I actually like that. So I think, yes, I'm going to do that. This is what I mean. You build them and build them until you've got what you want. So do try and leave the gap. These gaps I'm on about, that I can put a tiny little diamante in, which I've got here at the side of me. And I've got some tiny ones like that. On the wrong shelf, of course. I have one for acrylics and one for metals. And I put it on the wrong shelf. So let's just have a look. We just need the 4. Now these might not work. So let's just see if they work. Can I prise that? I might need to lift this off. Like that. They come apart like that, so it's easy enough. So what I'm going to do, without burning myself, pop a bit of glue in there. Pick up my diamante. Like that. And drop that in. And just sit that back down. Bit fiddly, but it did go in. It did. So I'm just going to do the same with this one. You only have to get them to stick, and then when we turn it upside down like we did yesterday, we can then put the glue section in it. You know, glue it all together. That's it. We got that in. Oh, please say it went in. Yes, it did. It went in. Like that. I'm going to turn this around. Just make sure these are turned over. There we go. And we're going to push that one in there. That's it. Turn that over. And our last one is going to go in there. Like I said, it can be a bit fiddly, but get a good pair of tweezers and play. That's it. Oh yes. You can see them. So just let that set a minute. And I think that will look nice on one of the envelopes. So I'm just going to move that out of the way while that's setting. I'm going to take a bit of card. So you need an A4 sheet. That's all. And you get 2 envelopes. So you fold it in half. That's it. If you've got a bone folder, use that. If not, use the edge of a pencil or something. Do that. And then we're just going to trim that off. And that gives you 2 perfectly good sized envelopes. Now these are easy. So what you're going to do is you fold your card over and leave about half an inch. Half an inch. Give that a little crease there. Now what you're going to do is fold that over and give that a crease as well. And as you can see, you got a little bit of a fold here. So what you do then, now you can mark this out if you want. I'm just going to score mine, and I'm not measuring it at all with the blunt blade. Not the one, that one, you'll cut it off, but with the blunt one. So turn your knife upside down, and if you've got a scorer, that's fine. We're going to score that. Like that. So that when that's folded, this one attached to this end that you've already folded, you're going to keep this one. You're not. We're going to cut that section out. So I can fold mine. I do it this way. It's easier. Cut it like an envelope. Like that. Open it up. And you need to cut this section off. Like that. Now this section, cut it like an envelope. And then snip that end out. Well, you can do it like that. And then you need to do the same on that end as well. So you have a blank piece with the bottom folded and one side, and then shaped like an envelope. And then what we do is we fold that in. You can do it all with glue. Glue's fine. It's perfectly fine to do this. Fold that. Use your bone fold if you want to spread that out a bit. And then what you're going to do is that side as well. I'm just going to make sure my glue's working. Fold that over. Use your bone folder while it's still warm. Never mind that. That was my fault. I put too much on that end. And then just do that. And you're left with an envelope. But now all we have to do is to do this section. So what I do, and it's so easy. Let's just have a look. Take something round, like a lid, and push it to the edge. And then you mark that off. I can't see if I'm seeing the edge there, but hey ho, near enough. That's more or less what you need. And you just trim that. See how easy that is. And you've got that. Now I don't cut this section off. I take my ruler. Let me just see where I've cut it. Really should mark it off, but I didn't. We can take a little bit more off that. Like that, that's it, that'll do. On the back section where you see these folded, take your blade again, or whatever it is you're using. There to there. Score that. Open the envelope, and you're going to fold that in. Now, you can either glue that down before you fold it in, or just leave it in there. Depends what you're putting in, really. So, I'm going to take mine out again, and I'm going to glue mine down. Well, I say I'm going to take it out. That's it. Because if you're putting a card in it, you don't want the card to get stuck. Okay? So, I'm going to start from this end. Pop some glue in there. You only need a little bit, a smidgen. And fold that down, and that will be fine. It won't come undone. And you've ended up, let me just shape that little bit there, with a really nice envelope that you can now decorate. And the way I did mine, I bought some of this, or I had some in anyway, trim. And it's double road diamante trim. So I'm going to do the trim first. Now, you can do yours all over if you choose. I just chose to do it on the front. And I just measure that out. And snip that off. Where I needed it. Just to make sure that both sides are the same length. I did that, and you peeled the back, and you can lay this wherever you want. So I just go in about 1/2 inch, put your finger down on it, don't let it go touch the card until you're ready. Mine's not quite straight, but it doesn't matter, I'm not fussed about it. You can peel it back and put it on if you want. Now, I can't see. I don't know why, because these were my new glasses, weren't they? But I'm not sat over it, so it's in front of me. I'm having to stretch out to do this. There we are. So we'll just pop this on this side. Like I say, just roughly 1/2 inch. Let's have a look. About there. And then lift that down to the bottom. Oops, that's not straight. Pull it back a bit. That'll do. I can cut a couple of them sections off. Okay. So we've got that so far. Now what we're going to do is the back bit. Now what I do is I take my buttons, and I've got a little silver button here because I'm using this. Where's it gone? My silver piece here. So I'm just going to take that off the mat. Again, really quickly, just cut around that. Because it's not quite secure. So again, take your mat, just put that on there in a minute. And what we're going to do is secure all these pieces. So where there's gaps, like that, lay that out flat and press down. So that spreads all of that out, and then remove that to dry. Then we can continue with this. So I've got my little button, which I'm going to use as a fastener. And all I do is I take my little clippers. These are nail art clippers that I bought. And I'm going to leave about 3mm and snip that. Turn it round. Leave about 3mm. And snip that. Take the card. Now, I left mine here. It was too high up really, so I'm going to move it down a little bit more. So I'm going to put my button here. Dab of glue, but don't press the button down too much. Make sure it's centerized. Try and lift it. You can see there's a gap. Now, I'm using hot glue, but you can use a different glue. Like that. On the flap. And it's got some thread on it, so we'll do it a different one. Thread the needle through the bead. You've got to knot it on the end. Like that. And then I'm going to trim the bottom knot. And that should give me a big enough knot for the bead. Yeah. So then what we're going to do is to measure the one I've already done. If you have all your measurements up front, you'll just follow those. But let's have a look at mine. I can cut the string where I need it. Okay, so roughly that. Put my needle back. Take your thread, and you need to, in the middle, line that up. Let me take, where's my tweezers gone? Just to get this on. And then I have a little piece of card that I've used, I've cut it, to put over that. That's fine. And then when you fasten that down, give it a chance to dry, obviously. Yeah, I can just snip that bit. That's it. And then you can just wrap this around until you've got the length you want. And then on the back, on the front, we're just going to add the thing we've made. Now the thing with this is, because it's on tool, remember, we just burnt the tool, didn't we? And it doesn't hurt the stones whatsoever. But then what we can do, oh, let me just do that and line this up. I'm going to put it that way this time. And there you go. You've made yourself a beautiful little decorated ornament envelope. Now with these, what you can do is you can add lace or anything like that, you know, to what you want. I think they look cute and they're really nice. To put a gift card and put that in the tree, or you can add somebody, if you're a nice writer, add somebody's name on. I just think they're beautiful. Very quick, very simple to make. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye for now.